This podcast mentions alcohol and has adult content. Not suitable for children or the faint at heart. For entertainment purposes only. This is the Tales of a Small Town Bartender podcast. You have been warned.
Hey, this is Tony.
Hi, and I'm Sean.
Hey, and I'm Korey.
Yeah, what? Wait, who's Korey?
Korey is our first live guest on today. He's joining us from the Killing Tyme podcast, Tyme, Killing Tyme. They have a YouTube channel and post a lot of videos and stuff. Great stuff about friends and family and life in general. So Korey's joining us today. Korey is a veteran. Tell us a little bit about your service.
Yeah, man. I did 20 years in the Navy. Joined in 98, retired in 2018. I did about how many ships? About two ships, one sea command after that, and a host of other stuff, man. Been around the world and whatnot, and saw a whole bunch of different things, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I was in the Marine Corps. Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps. I just did 4 and out. But I'll say one thing people in the military are good at is getting drunk and having stories.
Damn right. Is it okay if I
and that's what. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's why Korey is joining us here today, because we were just shooting the shit, and Korey had some really good stories about this time in the military. I've got one or two, but I want to start the show off on kind of a bummer. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I feel the need to talk about this. It's kind of I guess it's kind of my therapy. One of the guys that I served with. And he was my roommate for about a year and a half of my 4 years in. Passed away recently. And no, it's cool, because I'll tell you what, this guy. No, let me get there. This guy went out in the most epic way possible. I got turned on to the story by his daughter when I found out on Facebook. The guy hadn't been posting for a few months, so I looked on his wall, and sure enough, he's passed away. And then I found out how. He was working as a contractor in Kuwait, and it was late at night / early in the morning. And he was either on his way home or on his way back to the apartment, or on his way into work, one or the other. And he hit a camel.
What?
Whoa.
He hit a camel in his car.
Was
it
camel? What's that?
Was it Wednesday? Hump day? Because that had been.
I mean, if you know 1,000 people, none of them are going to be dying by camel strike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Be upset. They're amazed.
Do they run across the road there like deer do here? I mean, people hit deer here all the time.
Well, they're not as agile, but
they're not as fast.
They are wild. Yeah, and we have out in Vegas here. We have burros, donkeys essentially.
Yeah.
That will wander out onto the road occasionally, and but yeah, they're not agile or not quick at all, but they are huge, kind of like moose, right?
Yeah. If you drive north, going towards Reno on the 95 north here, you'll see the burros and the donkeys, and actually sometimes wild horses driving. If you're sleeping and it's dark at night, you won't see them. You can definitely hit them.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's the same way when I was driving up to Maine when I lived out in New York, or when I was visiting. I drove up to Maine once, and when you see your first moose crossing sign, that'll kind of change you, give you a little pause.
I'm going to Maine. I'm going to Maine in June. I can't wait to see a moose crossing sign.
Yeah. And it's really weird because I imagine it's similar to a camel. It's like if you drive your car into a camel or into a moose, you take their legs out and they fall on top of your vehicle. So
Whoa.
yeah, don't do that.
No.
No, no, don't want to do that. I've known buddies who, when I was stationed in Maryland, I've known buddies who hit deer and all kind of things, man. So it's definitely something I never want to happen to me.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate side effect of driving.
Yes.
But anyway, let's get to the good stuff. Enough of the dark and dreary. Uh, so, like I said, you and I were talking, we were shooting the shit, and you had some pretty great stories about the pretty funny stuff
Yeah.
about. Was it on the ship? What
So,
was the one I was thinking of? I don't.
so I got a couple. Take your pick. You want Australia? You want Mexico? You want Thailand?
Ooh.
Let's gotta start with Thailand.
Thailand.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Thailand. This had to be and hold your judgment for little young Korey here, please. Um, so the ship goes on like a 4 month deployment or a 6 month, whatever it was, and we're hopping around. So we pulled into Thailand this one time. Okay.
Oh boy.
Now everybody knows what sailors do when we go to Thailand. We want to drink and we want some girls. All right, and sometimes not in that order. Okay, just depends. So we flew to Thailand. We get in our hotel, nice hotel out there. First thing that happens is somebody from the ship sets a fire in the barbecue area. Okay. So,
oh my gosh.
but they blamed it on the Marines, so everything was okay. All right, blame the Marines.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Of course. So, one night we go out. One of the nights we go out, and a young Korey decides he wants to get drink. He wants to get drunk. He wants to start drinking. Now, mind you, I don't black out a lot from drinking. Okay, but I met a girl. This night I blacked out. Now, if you've ever been to Thailand, they tell you one rule: if you leave your drink is done.
Oh
Because
yeah.
they will put stuff in there. So
Bad news.
Bad juju. So what happened was she brought me a drink from the bar. I didn't see it. I'm not paying attention. She buys me a drink from the bar. I take said drink. Fast forward to that night, I start feeling drooly. Okay,
Drooly.
drooly, like I'm out. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Oh
wake
boy.
up in the morning. She's gone. I look for my cell phone. It tells you how long ago it was. I had a sidekick, T-Mobile sidekick. Okay,
Nice.
so I wake up. The sidekick is gone. About 300 or 400 baht is gone, which is like $50 in their money.
Yeah.
And my digital camera is gone that I just bought before deployment, and a pair
Oh
of
my gosh.
Versace sunglasses that I paid about
Oh.
$300 for are gone.
Ooh.
Okay. I look up. I'm still dazed and confused. The first thing I do is wake up and I call my buddy Willie. I says, Willie, I got robbed. He starts busting out laughing. You get no love. You get no love from your friends when something like that happens to you, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward, there was a bunch of Australian guys on holiday out there, and they come and say, my buddies, they see my face. This is guys we've been talking to the whole time. They come in and see my face, and they're like, "What is wrong with you today? You like usually upbeat." And Sean knows me; I'm usually a very, very upbeat person, right?
Very, very much so. Very much so.
They say, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "Man, I got robbed today. This girl came in and robbed me." First thing the Australian dudes that said, "How's your ass feel?"
Oh no.
So how did it feel?
But my ass was fine, Sean. Thank you. The
Oh, okay.
ass was fine. Yeah.
Hey,
So,
if I don't ask, somebody's gonna want to know.
Right?
yeah, my ass was fine. So, moral of the story is, when you're out there partying in Thailand or anywhere, watch your drinks because they will slip something in it and they will take advantage of you, either robbing you or something else. You don't want to end up missing a kidney because of a night of fun, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice, even here in Vegas, especially at the strip clubs.
Yeah,
It gets crazy, but yeah, good advice really anywhere you go. Keep an eye on your drink for sure. They had, I heard they have coasters now where you can take just a little bit of your drink and put it on the coaster and it will turn a different color if it's got
yeah,
drugs in it,
they
which is
do.
pretty fucking
Mhm.
cool.
They also have covers that you put over your drink. It's like that Glad cling wrap, the press and seal wrap. You put
Yeah,
it on
yeah,
top of your drink and you can poke your straw through it so you can drink right
right.
through it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good idea
and
as well.
I have a college student. My daughter's a college student, and we had a scare. She called me one day, and she was at a party, and she felt like somebody put something in her drink because she said started feeling a little woozy. So naturally, as a father, I'm on the way. Luckily she's
Oh
in
yeah.
town at college.
Okay.
Like you will not drive. You are coming to the house, and you are sitting still. So I can monitor you. Luckily, I think she was being paranoid because nothing happened. But you just never know,
Good.
man. So you have to be, ladies and fellas out there. You got to be careful. You have
Hmm.
to.
Yeah, fellas, for sure. I used to go out. I used to bowl a lot when I lived in the Midwest, and one of the guys I used to go out with worked at the county jail, and he was 400 pound, just hulking mass of a man.
Yeah.
Not in very good shape, but he used to go out and buy drinks for everybody, and he was the life of the party. Just super, super nice guy. So anyway, one night we're at the bar, and he buys a round of drinks, and he takes one of the girls' drinks that made it from the bar to the table. He took her drink, and they switched somehow. Anyway, he ended up getting drugged. 400 pounds of blubbering, sleeping idiot on the floor of the
Jeez.
bar from one drink intended
Oh
for this girl.
Wow.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
messed up.
incredible.
That's scary.
Very, very. Anyway, so yeah, we're on the horror kick today, aren't we? Death and
But
drugging people.
but you know what, Sean? It gives people an alert out there that things can happen to anybody. You ain't gotta be a man, you ain't gotta be a woman. But you gotta be a man or a woman. But you get what I'm saying? Usually you hear about women being taken advantage of and in that way. But it can happen to men too, man. So you just gotta be careful.
You never
Absolutely,
know.
absolutely. All right, so tell me about Australia.
Australia. All right. So Australia, I was we pulled in. We pulled into the Brisbane, Australia.
Hmm.
Yeah, Brisbane, Australia, and we decide to go to a basketball game. Now, mind you, the basketball game they had special tickets. It was like $40 or $50 back then. You hit about four pubs, and then you go to the basketball game. So we're drinking beer. We're sitting there drinking crazy, crazy amount of beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get to the basketball game, and they know we're there. They're like, "Hey, we got some guys from the American military out here. Won't you guys come in the middle of the floor during halftime?" Now, mind you, I am 2 shits to the wind at this time.
Uh-oh.
Okay, middle. Yep, 2 sheets to the wind right now. Okay, they call us on the middle of the floor and they say, "Hey, we're gonna play a little game. We're
Oh
gonna
boy.
have you guys grab a bat, and you're going to spin around said bat." Okay. Now, mind you, y'all know what happens when you spin around a
It's
bat.
the dizzy
Okay.
bat race, right?
Yeah, it's a dizzy bat race. The dizzy,
Mhm.
dizzy
Okay.
bat race. Corey spins around. I spin, I spin, I spin, I spin, I spin.
Oh.
I get up. I face plant at half court. I
Oh gosh.
in front of a full crowd. I'm so drunk, I just get right up and just yell and scream like I just won the game. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So like, and after that, we went out drinking again because that's what you do when you hit different ports. You work all day, and for 2 3 weeks at a time, 7 days a week, and you go out and let loose. So that was my Australia story, Sean.
At least you didn't throw up out there. That could have been worse.
No, I can count on one hand how many times I've thrown up from drinking. It hasn't been many.
Oh, that's good.
We're professionals.
When I was in Okinawa, I went out drinking with a few guys and met up with a few more as the night progressed, and things got a little crazy. Guys got so just basically blackout drunk. They were bad. And some of us started breaking off because of how obnoxious and rude they were getting. And there's a reason why people in Okinawa are not fans of the military, and we
And you're why?
No. Yeah, kind of the reason why.
Right.
one of the few. But they were running through the town and opening up people's windows in their houses and screaming inside and just scaring the shit out of people. And
Jesus.
finally, we're like, "Yeah, we're out. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to be here with the MPs." So we go back, and the next day we find out that a sergeant and a corporal ended up breaking into supply that night and getting some basically big tent poles, and then were performing rifle drill with a tent pole in the officers' barracks, down the middle of the officers' barracks at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh my God.
So they're calling drill. It's like left shoulder, arms, and just left, right, left, right. What, marching down the damn barracks at 3:00 in the morning.
Right.
So needless to say, they got in trouble. They got busted rank and pay, and were on restriction for a while after that. But that was just insane, insane. But crazy drunk. But what? You had one more country.
Mexico.
What?
Mexico. That's right. All right.
Yes. The
Go
year
Mexico.
was 1999. Yeah, 1999.
Ooh, early.
Yeah, my very first deployment. We did a 3-month drug op, and we pulled into a couple of ports there. It was Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, and there was one more. I forget off the top of my head. But anyway, Acapulco.
Hold on a second. You were in the Navy, and your ports were Puerto Vallarta, Acapulco, and what was the other one?
Puerto Vallarta, Acapulco, and Cabo. Yes, my first port.
Literally all vacation destinations.
Yes.
Didn't the Love Boat used to go there?
In one form or another.
You'd be surprised how many sailors actually fell in love in these ports.
Oh, I bet.
You'd be surprised.
Where did I go wrong?
You joined the Marines?
Man, I guess so. What a dumbass.
So we pull into Cabo San Lucas, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys ever been down to Cabo or any place like that in Mexico.
No, have not.
Okay. So you go into these bars, and they have what you call shooter girls.
Mm-hmm. I know what they
girls, huh?
I know what they are.
Okay. So the shooter girls, walking around the bar.
Yep.
Now, these girls have holsters on, and they got 2 bottles. And they got a bottle of tequila and a bottle of Sex on the Beach or something like that. And 2 holsters and shot glasses. So this day, I'm already sitting there drinking. My drink of choice back then was gin and orange juice, gin and tonic, whatever it was. Tanqueray usually. So mind you, I'm drinking Tanqueray and beer all day. So somebody from my boat, one of the senior guys from my ship, he says, "Kilgore, get your ass over here." He sends me 12 shots of tequila.
Oh no.
Straight. Okay?
Oh.
12 shots straight. And I take them like the champ I am at all of 20, 21 years old, however old I was at the time. On top of everything else. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I had a best friend, JC. Me and JC did everything together. I talked to JC. I said, "JC, I'm not going to make it." He says, "What do you mean?"
An astute observation after 12 shots of tequila.
Yeah. Maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, I said, "I'm not going to make it." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You got to get me back to the ship right now. I'm not going to make it." So, mind you, I'm drunk and I'm stumbling. And at this time of my life, I'm maybe good 200, 215. and JC is all of 6'1", 6'2", 150 pounds.
Mhm.
All
Oh
right,
gosh.
trying to
Skin and
get my
bones.
big ass back to the ship. So, if you guys know anything about ships, in the way the oceans work, there's high tide and low tide.
Mhm.
Well, at high tide, the brow of the ship, what we use to walk across the gangplank, what we use to walk across, at high tide, it's very high, so it's very, very, very elevated. Just imagine walking up an escalator, but
Mhm.
it's not moving. Okay,
Right.
Okay.
so
Right.
he has to get me up there, get me down to my rack. He finally gets me down there, gets me in my rack. Thank God I had a bottom rack because I don't know how he's gonna get me in the top rack. Thank God. So the guy, one rule on the ship is close quarters, so you don't put your clothes out in the middle of the ship. Okay,
Oh
in the middle of
no.
the aisle.
Oh.
You don't put
Right.
your clothes out in the middle of the aisle.
Right.
That's rule number one. This guy had all his clothes out. I threw up on his stuff about 3 times that night.
Oh.
About 3 times.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
He wakes up.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, he wakes up and says, "God damn it, Kilgore." I say, "You shouldn't have had your shit in the middle. You know the rules." I naturally I blame him. I don't blame my drunk self naturally. So then I said, "Look, man, I'll wash your clothes for you. Not a problem. That's the least I could do is wash your clothes." So I walked
Sure.
in the officer's country, Sean. Okay,
Oh gosh. Yeah.
and I wasn't an officer. I was enlisted. So an officer sees his clothes and he gets in trouble for washing his clothes in officer's country.
oh, you got him in trouble.
For washing his clothes in officer country. Hey, his clothes are
No.
clean. He'll be okay, you know. But yeah, those are a couple of Korey's drinking stories.
So yeah. So one question.
Of course.
Oh, so first an observation for everybody. Officer country on a ship, or really anywhere, a submarine ship, is a designated area just for officers, and enlisted gets the crappy shit. So
Mhm.
yeah, if you're an officer and they join, you get special area just for your stuff. And
Yep.
yeah, one of the unwritten rules is do not cross that line, or you get you get in trouble like he did. But a question on some of the ships that I had been on,
Yep.
there was this rule, like if you went off board, if you went shore, and when you came back on, they said that you had better be able to get yourself back on the ship in and be able to report back onto the ship on your own without help from anybody else.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
have that? That
Oh
that was the
yeah.
case with you as
You
well?
better.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. You
yeah,
better. You know you like so, and it doesn't matter. Um, like you said, you just need to be there. You know,
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
like there's plenty of times where I would come in. My first duty station was Pearl Harbor, so there would be plenty of times that I would go party all night, and I had to work at 5 a.m. So what I would do instead of getting in my rack, because I know if I got in my rack, I was going to be late. So I
Yeah.
would sleep at my duty station and just wait for everybody to wake me up. Hey, I'm here. I'm alive.
Oh
Just
my
wake me up.
God.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not late. Uh, there was a there was a time in Singapore. Another drinking story.
Oh,
Uh,
my
there was
son
a
just got
time in
back from Singapore.
one of my favorite places to visit. One of my favorite.
Yeah.
Um, one of my times in Singapore, we go out. They had an old closed down power plant, and this power plant had maybe like 7 or 8 clubs inside, and you can go to each club as long as you paid your $20 entry fee.
Oh wow.
Now,
Yeah.
what you don't, they allow you to do $20 of pitchers of alcohol. Okay,
Okay.
you call it.
Mhm.
It's a $20 pitcher.
Wow.
I'm sitting there down them. Lady friend I had out there at the time. We go out. We get back to the hotel, and I'm blizzard. I'm blitzed. I'm gone. Now, mind you, you got to be back to the ship by 7 a.m. I had duty the next day. So I had to be back on board the ship by 7 a.m. I probably didn't get back to the hotel till 3 a.m. She wakes
Oh.
me up. She wakes me up at 7:30. She says, Korey, it's 7:30. I said, what? She said, it's
Uh-oh.
7:30. Exactly, Sean. I
Uh-oh.
said, I automatically sober up. I sober up
Yeah.
quick than a mug, Sean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I go next door because my homeboy who's supposed to be with me, he's late as well because we're in the same section. I go next door to his room. I say, wake up. My actual supervisor was actually on his work computer emailing back and forth. I said, hey, think fast, Korey. I said, hey, email this email at work. Tell them I had a problem with my hotel. Me and the guy had a problem with our hotel bill. We're figuring it out and we're on the way. Okay, so
Nice.
he does it. We get to the ship maybe an hour. One of the senior people in our duty section. He says, what happened,
Mm-hmm.
Kilgore? I said, man, they had some phone charges on the bill, and I had to get that straight. He said, man, I'm so glad y'all sent that email. If y'all didn't see that email, y'all have been fucked. I was like,
Yeah, for real.
I was like,
Wow.
hey, I just want to let y'all know. You know, and my homeboy's still drunk. I said, don't you say a word this whole time, because you can tell he's drunk. And if he starts talking, they're going to smell the alcohol on his breath.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, don't you say a word, sir, at all.
Sweating it.
Yeah.
Sweating alcohol.
Yeah.
Man, I will say this. In the military, we were really good at going to bed super late and getting up super early. But the worst part about it was PT. If you have physical training in the morning at like 04:30 or
Yep.
05, you have basically 40 guys out in a formation doing the Marine Corps. We did what was called the Daily 7, which is 7 exercises, and then you do a run. Depending on how demonic the platoon sergeant and lieutenant is feeling, will depend on how long you go. But that wasn't the problem. The problem really is that when you go out drinking for a whole night, especially the beer drinkers, your digestive system is working overtime come the morning. So when you start running, the farts start happening.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're in the back of that fucking run formation, it's over, man. If you have a weak stomach, you're throwing up. You're vomiting. People are vomiting. It's a shit show every time it happens. But man, do we change anything? No. We just keep doing it because
you just roll on.
That way, we're freaking Marines. We just do it.
Yep.
So Korey, Sean already knows this, but I have two boys in the Air Force currently. One of them is in South Korea right now. The other one is here in the States. But the one that's here in the States right now just got back from Singapore. He went from Singapore to Hawaii and then back home.
In my time.
So I can imagine what stories my sons will have later on. They won't tell me now.
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot, and it might not be all their stories. It might just be some stuff they seen. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And trust me, I got more. Trust me, and a lot of them are from me. You know? So.
All right. Korey, we're gonna play a little game.
Let's go.
You and me. It's called Drunk or a Kid. Okay.
Okay.
It's something that we do on this show from every now and then. And Tony's gonna read a snippet of a story, and we have to determine. What's that?
It's very short.
Yeah, we have to determine if the person was either drunk at the time this happened or if they were a kid. And sometimes the stories are very ambiguous. They're very, well, in this case, it's very short. So you just have to use your best deduction and reasoning to try to figure out if they were drunk or a kid. What do you have for us today?
Put on a Superman cape and broke my arm jumping down a flight of stairs. Was I drunk or a kid?
Definitely drunk.
I'm going with drunk as well. Yeah, I'm going with drunk as well.
You're both right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a drunk adult. He said he was a drunk adult.
That's crazy. I can see it though. I can definitely see it.
All right, I'm gonna. Hey, Korey, since we got you on here, tell us a little bit about what you got going on with your podcast and all that.
Yeah, man. So we record about once a week. We started it when I retired. Well, not when I retired. We started the guys' night once I retired with my two best friends out here. And every time we would go to the bar on these nights, we would have these good conversations. So right during the pandemic, I was like, you know what, guys, we're going to start a podcast. We're going to turn these conversations into a podcast. And we've gone through many iterations, a couple of different hosts. One host left, came back. We had one of our hosts pass away, one of my good friends.
Wow.
And, we went through that. We added a female host to give a different kind of perspective. So we've gone through many different things, man. And we've been going almost, I think it'll be 3 years coming up this August, I believe.
Wow.
We're a little bit over there, or maybe 4 years. I can't remember. But we're about 150 episodes deep. I think 159 will be the next episode. So
nice.
Look for us, man. Tuesday audio and YouTube is usually available for everybody. So follow us, Killing Tyme. Go ahead.
I was going to say youtube.com/@Killing Tyme, TYME.
Yep.
So that's your YouTube link right there.
Yes, sir. That's our YouTube link.
Yeah,
So,
and it says
we also do a ladies' night once a month. So it's just a ladies' panel once a month. All the guys get away, and we let the girls have whatever they talk about on ladies' night.
So you don't even listen, huh?
Yeah, you get it. And we gotta hit everybody, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it. Great stories, man.
Yeah.
No, man, I thank y'all, man. I'm sorry for the connections issue. My wife got me running around doing things. So y'all know how that goes. I'm glad I was able to make it happen, though, man. I really am.
That's great. I appreciate you. Appreciate you dialing in anyway, despite having to do all of that. So thanks.
Yeah, man. No, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for being understanding.
No problem.
No sweat. I'm gonna just do some cleanup here. Hey, if you got any stories like Korey and military, not military, whatever, talesofasmalltownbartender@gmail.com. We also have talesofasmalltownbartender.com as our website. And you can get toasty with us if you buy me a cup of coffee.com/toastb. Put some gas in the show's tank. Once again, that's buymeacoffee.com/toastb, Tales of a Small Town Bartender. And we also have a YouTube that we're probably will start taking advantage of pretty soon.
Maybe.
And that's going to be youtube.com/@toastbartender. So I want to close with a quote, and then we'll be done. So today's quote is from Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. He said, "That's what I do. I drink and I know things."
I know. Yes, sir.
I love that show.
Yes, sir.
Oh, outstanding. So thanks again, Korey, for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'm Sean.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Korey.
And
be good to each other out there. All right.
Thanks,
man.
guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You can email us at talesofasmalltownbartender@gmail.com. Check our socials. Facebook, facebook.com/talesofasmalltownbartender. Instagram, instagram.com/talesofasmalltownbar/. TikTok, @talesofabartender. Buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/toastb.